Both aiming to end 12 years of hurt, Italy will vie with Bosnia-Herzegovina for a place at this summer's World Cup, as the sides meet on Tuesday for a decisive playoff final. Set to convene at Stadion Bilino Polje in Zenica, neither has reached FIFA's showpace since 2014, so a night full of drama and tension awaits. Match preview. Italy have long been haunted by the ghosts of successive World Cup failures, with pressure to qualify this time reaching almost intolerable levels. The Azzurri may be four-time world champions, but despite winning the delayed Euros in 2021, they last trod the global stage some 7 years earlier. This is their third straight World Cup qualifying campaign to end with a place in the playoffs. Following painful defeats to Sweden and then North Macedonia, they at least survived Thursday's semi-final. After struggling throughout a tense first half in Bergamo, they ultimately beat Northern Ireland 2-0 thanks to second-half strikes from Sandro Tonali and Moise Kean. Despite winning every other game in Group I, Italy's initial qualifying campaign was marred by two 3-goal defeats to Norway, suggesting they remain vulnerable at the back. More positively, head coach Gennaro Gattuso has got his team scoring, with an average of over 2 goals per game since he took the reins from Luciano Spalletti last September. A World Cup winner 2 decades ago, Gattuso must now lead La Nazionale to Bosnia in search of a cathartic playoff victory, but the price for failure is almost unthinkable. Set for their 7th meeting with Italy, Bosnia-Herzegovina only have one win on the board so far, a shock 2-1 success in the nation's very first contest, a 1996 friendly fixture in Sarajevo. Much has changed since then, but both are now chasing their first World Cup finals ticket since 2014, and just one more win is required. After evergreen skipper Edin Dzeko hauled them level in Thursday's playoff semi-final, Bosnia beat Wales on penalties, holding their nerve to edge a very tight tussle in Cardiff. So another victory would clinch the final spot in Group B at this summer's World Cup, joining co-hosts Canada, plus Qatar and Switzerland. While Italy were always bound for the playoffs after losing heavily to Norway in their opener, the Dragons agonizingly missed out on automatic qualification. Conceding a late goal to draw with Group H winners Austria cost them dearly in November, but they now get another attempt to reach just a second major final since gaining independence. Freezing weather and a tight partisan stadium should play into their favor in Zenica, even if Bosnia lie 58 places below the Azzurri in FIFA's latest world rankings. Team news: Gattuso is expected to keep faith with the Italy 11 that started against Northern Ireland, though Matteo Retegui seemed off the pace and could make way for 20-year-old Inter Milan striker Pio Esposito. The latter has scored 3 times across his last 5 World Cup qualifiers, and he more recently netted both of Inter's last 2 league goals. While Napoli captain Giovanni Di Lorenzo and Liverpool's Federico Chiesa are absent this month, Alessandro Bastoni, Gianluca Mancini, and Riccardo Calafiori have all overcome minor injuries to make themselves available. However, Gianluca Scamacca is still struggling with an adductor issue, meaning Retegui, Keane, and Esposito must vie for 2 places up front. Like Gattuso, Bosnia boss Sergej Barbarez will field a familiar lineup, particularly with a thin squad to choose from, but teenage talent Kerim Aligabejevic could force his way in. Now aged 40, Dzeko, who previously enjoyed profitable spells at Inter and Roma, is his nation's all-time top scorer, 73, including 6 goals in this qualifying campaign so far. The veteran striker should partner Ermedin Demirovic in the final third, while Serie A centre-backs Tarik Mahamovic and Sead Kolasinac are well accustomed to stopping Italian attackers. Sampdoria's Denis Hadikadunic is the host's most notable absentee, while Sturm Graz trio Emir Karic, Arjan Malic, and Yusuf Gazibejevic did not make the cut. Bosnia-Herzegovina. Possible starting lineup: Vasil, Dedic, Muharemovic, Katic, Kolasinac, Memic, Tahirovic, Sunic, Alai-Begovic, Demirovic, Dzeko. Italy. Possible starting lineup: Donnarumma, Mancini, Bastoni, Calafiori, Politano, Barella, Locatelli, Tonali, Di Marco, Kane, Esposito. We say Bosnia-Herzegovina 1-2 Italy after extra time. So much is at stake, with the weight of a nation bearing down on both teams. As a result, it might take 120 anxious minutes to separate them in a tooth-and-nail contest. Neither side has a positive history in playoffs, but Italy have been galvanized by Gattuso and should just get over the line this time. For the second time in 4 years, Sweden and Poland will fight for one place at the World Cup as they meet on Tuesday for another winner-takes-all playoff final. The Eagles prevailed on Polish soil to reach Qatar 2022, but this time the Swedes will have home advantage in Solna. Match preview. Despite their dismal attempt at taking a direct route to this summer's finals, Sweden are now just one win from reaching the 2026 World Cup, where they would take part in Group F alongside the Netherlands, Japan, and Tunisia. Inspired by star man Viktor Gyökeres, who hit a hat-trick in his team's 3-1 success, the Blagult beat Ukraine in Thursday's playoff semi-final, which took place on neutral turf in Spain. Head coach Graham Potter, who inherited an ailing squad in October, was naturally full of praise for the Arsenal striker, whose goals have put Sweden within touching distance of a 13th global finals. During the first phase of qualifying, they went winless throughout Group B, scoring only 4 times while conceding 12 at the other end. Yet they still sneaked into the playoffs by a backdoor UEFA Nations League route, having easily topped their group in Europe's third tier last season. Now, not only is a precious place in North America up for grabs on Tuesday, but the Swedes will also seek a delicious slice of revenge. The Nordic nation painfully lost 2-0 to Poland in their 2022 World Cup playoff final, when Robert Lewandowski and Piotr Zielinski broke Swedish hearts in Horshov. In some respects, they were unfortunate not to qualify automatically, having won 5 times and drawn both home and away against the Netherlands, who went on to top Group G by 3 points. Still, following a period of strife under former boss Michal Probiez, who made the fatal mistake of falling out with national legend Lewandowski, the Poles are enjoying an impressive return to form. Current coach Jan Urban is unbeaten after 7 games in charge, and his team seem united in their quest to reach a 3rd consecutive World Cup. However, history is not on their side. Poland last won in Sweden 76 years ago, and they have lost on their last 3 visits to Solna: 2-0 in 1999, 3-0 in 2003, then 3-1 in 2004. Sweden were already without Alexander Isak, Emil Kraft, and Dejan Kulusevski due to injury, and imposing centre-back Isak Hien has now joined them on the sidelines. Both Hien and left-back Gabriel Gudmundsson were forced off during the defeat of Ukraine. Borussia Dortmund's Daniel Svensson is on standby to replace the latter if required. With Isak still missing, there is no question about who will lead the hosts' attack, although Gyökeres had failed to score in World Cup 2026 qualifying before his decisive hat-trick on Thursday. As ever, Poland captain Lewandowski, also their all-time record goal scorer and caps holder, is the visitors' main danger man. Zielinski also scored in the 2022 playoff win over Sweden and remains an influential figure in midfield, but Urban has begun to bring through the next generation. Teenage pair Filip Rozga and Oskar Piatuszewski both played a part in the comeback win against Albania. The latter is only aged 17, but has been earning rave reviews for Porto. Rozga's place may be under threat, though, as versatile winger Nikola Zalewski can return after serving a suspension in the semi-final. Sweden possible starting lineup: Nordfeldt, Lagerbielke, Starfelt, Lindelof, Johansson, Karlström, Ayari, Svensson, Elanga, Nygren, Gyökeres. Poland possible starting lineup: Grabara, Kedjora, Bednarek, Kivior, Kash, Slish, Zielinski, Skoras, Szymanski, Zalewski, Lewandowski. We say Sweden 1-2 after extra time. Given their depth of experience and superior form, Poland can spoil the party in Sweden, booking their place at another World Cup finals. The Swedes have struggled through to this point, while their visitors are proving tough to beat and seem reunited under new management.